Boundless spaces, strange creatures, and crazy technologies. Welcome to the world of science fiction. No matter whether it's hard-hitting action, emotional stories, or dark visions of the future, we're now here to show you the top sci-fi movies of the next few years, including Dune 3, the new Jurassic World, and the big Avatar comeback. The dinosaurs are back, and once again it's a matter of life and death. 3 years after Jurassic World Dominion, we can finally look forward to a new film in the popular dinosaur saga. In Jurassic World Rebirth, a special team led by Scarlett Johansson is tasked with recovering genetic material from iconic dinosaurs in order to develop a cure for a dangerous disease. However, they are stranded with civilians on a secluded island, and the mission turns into a nightmare with new threats, new dinosaurs, and a shocking discovery. Alongside Johansson, the cast also includes Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend. The movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, known for Rogue One and The Creator. Jurassic World Rebirth represents a true new beginning, without the main characters from the previous films. The movie will be released on July 2nd, 2025. At the end of 2025, we are in for a big blockbuster highlight, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Both old and new characters will play an important role in the third part of the Sci-Fi series. New clans and cultures from Pandora will be introduced as well. The story starts shortly after the events of Avatar 2: The Way of Water and follows Jake and Neytiri as they encounter the so-called Ash People, among others. Of course, Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana are back once again. This time, Game of Thrones actress Una Chaplin will play an important role. She will be seen as Varong, the leader of the Ash People. Stephen Lang, Kate Winslet, and alien actress Sigourney Weaver will likewise return for Avatar 3. A release date has already been set. From December 19th, 2025, Avatar fans can once again immerse themselves in the world of Pandora. Of course, as many people know, it won't just end with Part 3. Avatar 4 and 5 can be expected to hit theaters in 2029 and 2031, according to the current schedule. From Messiah to Ruler, Dune 3 brings new power, new doubts, and new enemies. One of the most popular blockbuster series of recent years continues with Dune Messiah. No wonder, the previous two movies were met with an almost euphoric reception from fans and critics alike. The third movie, Dune Messiah, will adapt the second book of the acclaimed sci-fi saga by author Frank Herbert. In terms of plot, we are in for a time jump, which is 12 years in the books. Dune 3 continues the story of Paul Atreides, who is now faced with major challenges due to his new position. It is very likely that many of the actors from the first two parts will return. In addition to Timothée Chalamet as the protagonist Paul, we can also count on Zendaya as Chani and Florence Pugh as Princess Irulan. Also making an appearance this time is Anya Taylor-Joy in a bigger role. In the predecessor, she was only shown very briefly in a vision. Probably the most important news is that Dune 3 will once again be directed by master director Denis Villeneuve. He is arguably one of the greatest science fiction directors of our time. His movies Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 are also among the most popular sci-fi works of recent years. The score is once again provided by the iconic German composer Hans Zimmer. We can expect Dune 3 to be released on December 18th, 2026. Warner Bros. Has at least announced an officially untitled Denis Villeneuve event film for this date, which will also be screened in IMAX cinemas. It is very likely that this involves the new part of the Dune saga. Apart from Part 3, there is also initial information for further Dune projects. A second season of the spin-off series Dune Prophecy has already been ordered. There are also rumors about Dune 4, although this has not been officially confirmed yet. Either way, Denis Villeneuve will not be involved. The director has already confirmed that he will not be directing any potential films after Dune 3. After Tron and Tron Legacy, the third part of the stylish sci-fi series is now awaiting its release with Tron Ares. The focus is on the title character, played by Jared Leto, a program that enters the real world. Jeff Bridges is also back, slipping into the role of Kevin Flynn as he did in the predecessors. However, we have to say goodbye to two other key characters from Part 2. Neither Garrett Hedlund nor Olivia Wilde are making a return. The director this time around is Joachim Roning, who has already directed movies such as Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and Maleficent Mistress of Evil. Since Daft Punk has disbanded, they are no longer in charge of the music. Instead, Trent Reznor is providing the new soundtrack together with his band 9 Inch Nails. Tron Ares opens in theaters on October 10th, 2025. What would happen if a child had to represent mankind in space? Pixar ventures into the sci-fi genre with Elio, and does so with a lot of passion. Young Elio is mistaken by aliens for Earth's official ambassador and suddenly has to prove himself in an intergalactic crisis. What follows is an emotional adventure between the stars, full of misunderstandings, tests of courage, and new friends. Among the people behind Elio is Coco director and screenwriter Adrian Molina. Other directors involved are Domi Shi and Madeline Sharafian. All three have already worked on numerous popular Pixar movies, such as Inside Out and Ratatouille. Elio will be released on June 20th, 2025, and should prove to be a major highlight among Pixar fans. So, what awaits us in the Star Wars universe in 2027? Well, it's still a secret. A new movie has been announced for December 17th, 2027, but it's unclear what it will be. However, two projects are considered particularly likely. One of them is a still untitled film by Deadpool and Wolverine director Shawn Levy. According to The Hollywood Reporter magazine, the movie won't have anything to do with the Skywalker saga. Rather, the project is planned as an independent film in the Star Wars universe. Based on rumors, the main character will be played by a true Hollywood star, Ryan Gosling. The actor is best known for his appearances in La La Land alongside Emma Stone, the stylish gangster thriller Drive, and most recently as Ken in Barbie in 2023. Since filming is set to begin as early as fall 2025, according to insider information, a theatrical release might not be all that far off. So, it could be the film announced for December 2027. But another Star Wars project is also a possibility. After all, a standalone film based around Daisy Ridley's character Rey has been planned for a while too. The plot will be set sometime after the events of Episode 9. The focus will be on Rey establishing a new Jedi Order. The director will be Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who has also directed several episodes of the Disney Plus series Ms. Marvel. Originally, the movie was supposed to be released earlier. However, there have been frequent reports of issues and creative differences in the context of the project, which is why plans to have it released in 2026 were abandoned. It is thus possible that the Rey film is now scheduled for 2027. Nevertheless, it is worth mentioning that a few Star Wars productions have been promised over the past few years. In the movie business in particular, it has often been the case that nothing came of the announcements in movies, or entire trilogies were either postponed or simply cancelled. Perhaps we will finally learn more after the Star Wars celebration, which is coming up very soon. Dystopia, blood, and viewing figures. The Running Man returns. A new adaptation of Stephen King's classic awaits us this year. The film is set in a gloomy future in which the government controls the media. The original book is fittingly set in the year 2025 and revolves around the distraught Ben Richards, who takes part in an extreme reality show. The show offers the opportunity to win him a fortune, but also to lose his own life. The protagonist takes part in the games in order to use the prize money to save his seriously ill daughter. In the 80s, the novel was already made into a movie with action star Arnold Schwarzenegger. This time, Edgar Wright is responsible for the remake. The director is known to film fans for projects such as Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz. The cast of the production is also very interesting. Glenn Powell will take on the leading role. The Hollywood rising star was most recently seen in the disaster film Twisters and in the romantic comedy Anyone But You alongside Sydney Sweeney. Other actors involved include Thanos actor Josh Brolin, Fargo star William H. Macy, the Mandalorian actress Katie O'Brien, and Coleman Domingo from Euphoria. The theatrical release date for The Running Man has already been announced. The game show opens its doors on November 7th, 2025. Fans of the Predator series are in for a treat. After the acclaimed Prey, the next chapter is already in the pipeline with Predator Badlands. Unlike Prey, however, this time the story will be set in the near future. The focus is on two interconnected narrative strands that revolve around two contrasting twin sisters. Actress Elle Fanning takes on both roles. Of course, the iconic alien hunter is also part of the story. As always, it will boil down to a merciless fight for survival in which the sisters do everything they can to protect each other. Director Dan Trachtenberg, who previously directed Prey, is back in charge. Predator Badlands will be released in cinemas on November 7th, 2025. But that's not all. Dan Trachtenberg will also be directing another Predator project, although this one will be an animated anthology movie. It will tell multiple stories from different eras in which 3 different predators appear on Earth. Initial details suggest encounters with pirates and samurai. A release is scheduled for this year, but an exact release date hasn't been set yet. Baby Yoda on the big screen? Yes, please! In 2026, another Star Wars movie will finally be released, The Mandalorian and Grogu. As the title suggests, it is a spin-off of The Mandalorian. Here too, the two main characters, Grogu and Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, will be the center of attention. Nothing is really known about the plot yet. However, there is a strong assumption that the film will connect to the third season of The Mandalorian. It has already been confirmed that Sigourney Weaver will be part of the cast. The actress is known as the main character Ripley in the Alien movies and for her roles in Avatar and Ghostbusters. Moreover, the bear-star Jeremy Allen White is set to voice Jabba's son, Radha the Hutt. The Mandalorian was the kickoff for Star Wars live-action series in 2019. The first two seasons in particular were very popular with fans of the space saga. However, the third season, like so many Star Wars productions in recent years, was met with a little more criticism. Also released in 2019, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was the last Star Wars film to be released in cinemas. However, Episode 9 was very poorly received by both critics and fans. The result? Since then, the big screens have been avoided. The theatrical release of The Mandalorian and Grogu is planned for May 22, 2026, the first Star Wars movie in over 6 years. The expectations are high. So that was our preview of the most exciting science fiction movies to be released by 2027. Which highlights are at the very top of your list? What are you particularly looking forward to? And is there a movie we may have missed? Let us know in the comments down below.